morning, Tigers. My name is Natalie Wendell. I'm your student council president, and today on our Tiger Talks, we will be interviewing Dr. Todd Fraley on the new school start and end times. Dr. Fraley, can you tell us what is motivating the district to change the school start times?
Yes, I'd love to explain that to everyone out there. And what we started in the process of transitioning grade levels in the district, and when the Early Childhood Center moved into its new location, that opened up the south wing of the middle school. So for a few years, we've been trying to decide what's the best use of that empty space. And of course, we've already made the decision to move the fourth grade over to the middle school. Right now, middle school is the earliest starting school building, and we already have fifth graders that start very, very early in the morning. And for the most part of the year, they're standing out at bus stops, etc., in the dark, in pitch black dark. And now we're even going to move a younger grade level over there. And if we kept the same bus schedule for that building, we just have some real safety concerns along those lines.
Under this proposal, why would the high school start earlier rather than being the last in?
Well, we think it's more advantageous for scheduling purposes for high school due to all the activities. Now, ultimately, we'd like to see the high school go even before the junior high school. But the proposed time, start and end times, the junior high school would start first. And that's simply because of the afternoon pickup, because it's just the physical layout of the junior high school campus is not conducive to having buses come in like every 5 minutes and get picked up, because it's so spread out and there's 4 different buildings, there's 3 different levels. So it just works much, much better if all the buses are at the junior high campus at the same time waiting for the bell to ring, and then all the students dismiss at once to get on the buses at Massachusetts. So for that main reason, the junior high needs to go first. And we're in a situation where we have to run separate routes. We have enough students that ride the buses that the junior high school needs its own route, the high school needs its own route, the elementary needs its own route. So we have 3 different routes, and that takes up a lot of considerable amount of time.
What effect do you think starting earlier would have on high school's attendance?
Previously, when I was working at Smith Cotton High School, we started at 7:30 in the morning. I think attendance will be pretty much the same, no matter what time you start. I think you're developing work skills for students to transition to the next level. When you get in the workforce, you're going to have to be to work one time. That may be 5 a.m., that may be 9 a.m. So I think they will adjust. But some of the main goals from that, though, is we're getting our high school kids out earlier in the afternoon. We have so many of our high school students that participate in sports and athletics and activities, and that enables us to start those practices earlier, and then they get out and get home earlier or get to work. A lot of kids work after school. That would enable them to get up and get out to a work shift, gain an extra hour or so, possible payroll. And in addition to that, a lot of our kids that are in activities, of course, they get checked out of school in the afternoon because we have to travel to events, to games, and etc. And that will help with those students who will be able to stay in class longer and maybe not miss as much class in the afternoon when they have to leave.
Can you tell us when specifically those times would be?
Well, we're proposing at the moment, and this is just tentative, and I'm still waiting for our first student. We contract the first student bus company to get us some numbers back to help us with maybe some additional routes and additional buses that could help us with our transition time. Especially our rural routes take a lot more time. If we had extra buses for those routes, we can speed up the process a little bit. Be looking at the high school starting about 7:45 and in about 3 o'clock. and the junior high would start the earliest at 7:15. Another component of that is we'd be pushing the elementary start time back a little bit. They might not start till about 8:20 or 8:30, and they would get out a little bit later, about a half hour or so later than what they're used to.
Do you need anything else to make these time changes happen?
Well, I think we need the support of our community. I know that we need to support our Boys and Girls Club because they do a lot of after-school care for our students. So I think everybody will cooperate. I know there's pros and cons to the schedule flip, but we really feel that the pros outweigh the cons. We understand that child care for families is extremely important. And some families want their high school kid home to get the little ones on the bus, and they need that in the morning, so starting later is more advantageous. And then you have the flip side of that. Well, if high school kids get out earlier, they could potentially be home when the little ones get home before the parents do. So again, it's kind of a weighing of the pros and cons to make the decision.
Thank you, Dr. Fraley, for covering this topic.
Well, let me thank you, Natalie, for being an interviewer and allowing this process to happen. This is the first of hopefully several Tiger Talks that we want to perform to discuss district issues. So looking forward to that. I want to give a shout out to our host site, Celebration Center, that's let us come in and have a quiet spot uninterrupted to make this video presentation.